You're on mute, Judge.
Thank you. I said Mr. Fierro is present in the courtroom. So we'll set him up with a tablet there so he can join us through Zoom. Court calls the case of the state of Texas versus Octavio Fierro, cause number 2020-C05153. This proceeding is being heard in reference to and in compliance with the emergency orders of the Texas Supreme Court and the Court of Criminal Appeals under various miscellaneous docket numbers regarding the COVID-19 state of disaster, the guidance issued by the Office of Court Administration and the El Paso Council of Judges statement to the attorneys of the El Paso Bar in response to coronavirus. May I have announcement of counsel?
Hunter Griffin for the state. The state is ready.
Judge Louis Gutierrez, who I think I'm getting subbed out, Judge. I'm on this case. I showed up last time and Mr. Ray had been retained, and I don't think you've signed the order, so that's why I'm here, Judge.
Okay. What was communicated to me this morning, hold on. Get that. Okay. Now. All right. What was communicated to me this morning was that you had not signed the order.
Me?
So I haven't been able to sub him out.
Oh, okay. Well,
Or at least-
yeah, I didn't get anything. I've never gotten anything, and I heard I was in communication with Mr. Ray just yesterday afternoon for the first time on this one, and he told me he was filing the motion, and that's really, I've never received anything. I
Okay.
thought I was off, Judge.
No, you're still on because he did send us the motion, but as I said, he's saying that you refused to sign it.
Oh,
That's not going to get him on. We know
that's
better.
absolutely false. I've never refused to sign anything.
Okay. Well, until you sign off, I'm not going to sign off on the motion to sub, so you're the attorney of record. This is just a follow-up on the PTD status. I understand there was a previous hearing with Judge Shield who covered that. Is that correct?
That's correct, Judge. That's the hearing I showed to and Mr. Ray showed to, and since that point, I've been on this case.
Mr. Carvajal, what does Mr. Fierro still lack?
Good morning, Judge. Our records indicate that he completed defensive driving and the OSAR, the alcohol and drug assessment. However, he's still missing the fees. It has a total of balance of 360, DWI, class, and VIP.
Okay, so Mr. Fierro, you have been in PTD since April of 2021, which is about 14 months now. Have you completed any of these classes or paid the 360?
You're muted. You're muted.
He's muted, Glenn.
Okay, go ahead. I have completed the victim impact course, that class. I did go to the alcohol and chemical management program, if I may call it that.
DWI school. Have you completed DWI school?
No, I, as a matter of
All right.
fact, Your Honor, if I may, the DWI school, the defensive driving class, I've been doing it for the past day, and I have it on my phone. I've been doing that online. The
Well,
DWI.
Mr. Carvajal told us you had already completed that.
No,
Mr. Carvajal?
I'm checking, Judge. I have it here. You know what, Judge? I need to apologize for my confusion, Judge. I have 3 cases on your docket, and I picked the wrong case. Can I go back? Can I have 2 minutes?
Okay.
Okay, missing the fee is $360, the balance. In regards to the classes, I don't have any completions. I'm sorry, Judge, about the information. I apologize for my oversight. So as of
Okay.
right, so right now I have missing DWI, victim impact panel, defensive driving, and the OSAR assessment. That's what I have.
All right. Mr. Fierro, is there a reason in this year that you have not done any of these classes?
I've done the OSAR one.
That's not what I asked you, sir. Is there a reason that you waited until we start having hearings to get to these classes?
The financial problems that I have, Your Honor, and the passing of my mother, that I was a caretaker of her for about 5 years. She did pass away at the time when I believe we started with the PTD program.
That was April of 2021, sir.
Yes, and that's when she was ill. Yes, ma'am. And she passed away, I believe, 11 months ago. And I'm reeling with that right now. I'm taking care of her house where she lived, and I lived with her.
Mr. Fierro, it sounds to me like all you're doing is making excuses. My mother passed away a month ago. I'm here today
Yes, ma'am.
because you failed to do anything in a year. So at this time, Mr. Carvajal, I'm going to ask you to terminate Mr. Fierro from the program and send the case back to the court immediately. And Mr. Gutierrez, I'm going to sign off of this YouTube because it's not working properly. Okay. Mr. Gutierrez, if you will sign off on the order for Mr. Ray, then we'll sub him in. We'll tell Mr. Ray to send you that order and get your signature on it.
I'll do it as soon as I get it, Judge, or I'll file a motion to withdraw. I'm not sure what happened. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. You may be excused.
Thank you, Judge. Bye-bye.
Thank you. And Mr. Federal, you will be receiving a court notice, bringing your case back into the court, and we'll start all over. All right, so let me see. There's Mr. Parra. Yes. I would suggest you talk to your attorney. Okay. Good morning, Mr. Parra. I believe your client is connecting here.
Judge, may I be excused?
I think you have some more, no, Mr. Carvajal?
I believe Ms. Canchola had stated that there was only one, there was PTD.
Mr. Fierro was the only PTD status. The Ms. Figueroa is also on PTD, but it's a motion to withdraw hearing.
But I have some questions about her PTD status as well. Mr. Carvajal, do you need the information on Ms. Figueroa?
I have the case number, Judge. I can look it up right away.
Okay. Ms. Figueroa, if you'll turn on your camera and unmute yourself, we'll get started with a hearing. And turn on some light so that we can see you. Unmute yourself.
Okay, I'm
There you
unmuted.
All right. Ms. Figueroa, this is a court hearing. You are to dress appropriately as if you were present in court.
I'm sorry, I've been very, very sick. My mom had COVID and I've been very, very ill.
That doesn't excuse you putting on proper clothing, Ms. Figueroa.
So court calls the case of the state of Texas versus Roxanne Figueroa, cause number 2020-C08807.
This proceeding is being heard in reference to and in compliance with the emergency orders of the Texas Supreme Court and the Court of Criminal Appeals under various miscellaneous docket numbers regarding the COVID-19 state of disaster, the guidance issued by the Office of Court Administration, and the El Paso Council of Judges statement to the attorneys of the El Paso Bar in response to coronavirus.
May I have announcement of counsel?
Hunter Griffin for the state is ready.
Juan Alparra, Your Honor, attorney of record for Ms. Figueroa, also ready.
Hector Carvajal with the probation department.
You are Roxanne Figueroa?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
Raise your right hand. Right hand.
I'm sorry.
Solemnly swear affirm testimony you may give in this matter be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Mr. Parra, what seems to be the issue?
Your Honor, in addition to inconsistent communication, Judge, we did let Ms. Figueroa know at the onset of our representation that the scope of the representation would be limited to disposing of this case, which would include referral to PTD, Your Honor. We did have a conversation with her this last week whereby she agreed that she be also making another payment, Judge. Another issue is that she was due behind on her contractual obligations. And we're still pending that, Your Honor. Of course, the concern is that in subsequent attempts to reach her, we were unsuccessful. Ms. Figueroa, I understand, has been feeling unwell, but I would still like to point out that it's important to be in contact with her attorney, especially pending a hearing or a PTD status hearing, Judge.
Okay. Weren't you appointed to this case?
No, Your Honor, I was not.
Okay. I thought I had seen an order appointing you in October of 2020. Rihanna, would you look that up, please?
Yes, Judge.
Because technically, PTD does not dispose of the case until they finish the PTD and actually terminate the case. For the court's purposes, it's still pending and could come back at any time. So before I rule on your motion, let me ask Mr. Carvajal, how is Ms. Figueroa doing on PTD?
Judge, unfortunately, I don't have any good news for you. I have no completions of any classes whatsoever and no payments whatsoever towards her financial obligations.
Ms. Figueroa, what seems to be the issue?
No, I did complete everything. I just sent an email. I don't know if it went through, but I did complete everything. I finished my classes. I did the Mothers Against Drug Driving, and I did do the referral. I did send an email. I don't know if it hasn't gone through, but I'll resend it again.
Who did you send that to?
When did you send it?
I sent it to the email on file, the one who sent me where I had to take all my classes and everything.
Okay, I don't think I received it. If you check the box under the screen, you're gonna see my email address
Okay.
on the box. I'm up to date on all my emails and phone calls, so I have not received it. I'm sorry.
Okay, I can go ahead and resend it because I have completed everything already.
You did DWI school?
Yes, I did.
Victim impact panel?
Yes, ma'am.
So it would just be pending the fees. Have you paid?
No, I have not paid my fees and I was going to be paying them tomorrow morning.
Okay. All right, then if you will go ahead and resend that email, send it to Mr. Carvajal. And Mr. Carvajal, as soon as you get that and verify everything, would you contact the court to let me know whether she's complied and whether she'll be terminated from the PTD or completed the PTD, or whether we'll need a follow-up hearing?
Yes, Judge, we will.
All right. Brianna?
Yes, ma'am. No, she applied for an attorney 10/23. She did qualify, but Mr. Parra entered on 10/28/2020.
Okay. All right. Then, Mr. Parra, I will, if you no longer wish to be on this case, I will go ahead and grant your motion to withdraw. Anything further, counsel?
Judge, only that, that's the reason I brought up that Ms. Figueroa had been in contact with us. I mean, if this is just a matter of Ms. Figueroa, of you being able to reach out to us and again, being consistently in contact and available, I have no problem staying on the case. That's just a concern. I mean.
No, and you know what? I did contact your office last week and during this week to speak with your secretary. They had said you're out of town, and they had said that they would get back to me before we had a court. Never heard back, never heard anything in regards to that with them.
I am showing that we reached out 2 times after that, Ms. Figueroa, but we're going to reach out to you right after this hearing, court permitting my staying on the case, and hopefully you're able to answer. Will you?
No, and I always answer my phone at times saying I have not received everything. Even if I'm at work, I can still answer my calls. It doesn't matter.
In that case, I look forward to speaking with you. Your Honor, would you allow me to perhaps touch base with Ms. Figueroa? And especially
Sure. If you want to put your motion to withdraw on hold, that's fine. I mean, it looks like she's done everything and she will successfully complete the PTD program, and then she has no need for a lawyer. But in case she hasn't and she wants to continue to retain you, then you're welcome to do that.
Understood, Your Honor.
It's up to you. What do you want to do?
Court permitting, Your Honor, that'd be great. Thank you.
All right, then I will ungrant your motion to withdraw and leave you on as attorney of record for now.
Understood. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Ms. Figueroa, if you'll go ahead and do that so we can get a response from Mr. Carvajal one way or the other this coming week.
Okay.
Take care of that then. Good luck to
Okay.
you.
No, yes, ma'am. Thank
You
you.
may be excused.
Thank
Your
you.
Honor.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. All right, let me see who this. Whoever is on that phone, 915-297, would you please turn on your camera and unmute yourself? iPhone, would you please unmute yourself and turn on your camera?
Good morning, Judge. Can you hear me?
Yes, Mr. Spencer, good morning. I'm hoping this is your client, but they aren't turning on their camera.
Judge, I've been calling him all morning and he hasn't been responding to me. What number do we have? What's the last number?
9502.
No, that we have a number ending in 9502, so that's not going to be him, I don't think. Or it might be, but I don't think so.
Okay. Well, I don't know who that is. We'll put him back in the waiting room. Okay. Do you know by any chance whether he's done the class or not?
Judge, I have not received any information on that. I've been checking with him in my emails, and unfortunately, I don't have any verification.
Okay. What class was he supposed to do, Mr. Griffin?
The NCTI misdemeanor course.
Okay. Okay, then I guess we're going to have to set this for an in-person hearing so he can either show up or be a bond forfeiture.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Spencer. You may be excused.
Thank you, Judge.
Everybody else.